You know, me being single mom and watching my son create a partnership that I wish I had.
Yeah.
You know, and he's become that role model for the next generation.
Welcome back to Cyber Sisters, where we bring you the real tea of what it's like to work in the corporate industry. Today, we've got someone with a wealth of experience in tech. The last 7 years of her career is going to give you a lot of information today. She's currently working as a digital director whilst being a full-time mother, by the way. I don't know how she finds time, but she's also a boss on the social media. And today we bring you Dilara. Dilara, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a long time. We've been talking about this for months and months. I'm really excited to have you here. But rather than me continue on introducing you, tell us more about who is Dilara.
Well, first and foremost, I'm a single mum, which is a really important part of my journey. It has taught me resilience and the importance of breaking barriers. Secondly, I am super passionate about innovation, storytelling, and creativity. I love traveling, I love adventure, and I love cooking feasts for people I love. I even travel with my spice tin when I travel to see my friends around the globe.
You travel to see me.
And so I can cook them feasts because I like to share my love through what I create and cook. I also love trying new things and new challenges, like, for example, DJing. I've taken that up recently and I'm learning to DJ.
Wow. How do you find the time to balance career, digital director, being a mum, and DJing on the side and traveling and everything else you mentioned? How do you balance all of that?
I think I prioritize what's important to me.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's all about prioritizing the right things at the right times, knowing what really drives me. You know, I'm passionate about so many things, so even about work. So I try to balance what's important for me, you know, every day.
Love that. So, Dilara, who inspires you?
I would say my son and my daughter-in-law truly inspire me.
Yeah.
They have such a great relationship, such a supportive relationship. And my son, he supports his wife like every husband should support his wife.
But that shows how great of a mother and role model you were.
Yeah.
Because how would he know how to support or how a woman should be supported without being raised well?
We need more moms like that.
Absolutely.
And women like that who teach their sons how to carry themselves.
Oh,
I think men, and not just, I feel like in certain backgrounds, I know in my background, my culture, men come with an air of privilege and they're never really taught to kind of humble themselves and just, you know, be a best friend to the women around them. So I think that's amazing. I love that.
Thank you. You know, I have tried to create an environment where we communicate.
Yeah.
You know, it's not been easy as a single mom and trying to break barriers over the last 20 plus years, you know, in the tech industry, let alone trying to become a leader. I actually broke through poverty as well. So it was really important to me to role model for my son. You know, I instinctively knew that I had to teach him what he needed to do, how he needed to be, so he could be independent and also break barriers. You know, because not having a father is not easy.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there are lots of people out there who are unfortunately in those situations. And you know, I've always had that open communication with my son as he was growing up, because I wanted to make sure that he was able to make his decisions based on logic and knowing, you know, all the possible, you know, ways that his decisions could end up.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you know, the reason why I feel so inspired by them is because I see how they embody that supportive kind of dynamic, that partnership. You know, when his wife needs support, when she's having, you know, going through those natural things like menstrual pain and all that stuff, I just see how he truly supports her. I I feel like I'm learning from them every day. And even though there's a big age gap, I feel like I'm learning from them, and they inspire me to be the best version of myself every day. Show up as my best self as every day.
I love that.
That's amazing.
It is.
And I feel like it goes to show as well, like, you don't have to be older than someone to be able to inspire someone or teach someone. You can learn from anyone.
Exactly.
And it's just about being open to that. And I love that.
Exactly. You know, me being single mom and watching my son create a partnership that I wish I had, you know, and he's become that role model for the next generation.
I love that. And men like him, even in the corporate world, are needed.
Yeah,
because we
allies.
talk so much about men that don't understand women's pains. You know, you've got menstrual cycles. You've got so much. You know, you've got menopause. Women go through so much, and yet still we have to come to work and sit there as though nothing is going on and forget the world behind you. You need to focus on what your plan is for the day. So men like that, understanding it's needed, not only in the world, but especially in the corporate industry. So the next question is one of my favorites. I always ask it, and I ask it because it gives me insight, or it gives us insight on who you are as a person. So if you had 5-year-old Dilara stood in front of you today, what would you tell her?
What would I tell her about
you?
Me?
About no, actually, what advice would you give her? Actually,
5-year-old Dilara? Oh God, 5-year-old Dilara. Have to imagine her right now.
Please imagine her,
because I was really cute when I was 5 years old. I was tiny. 5-year-old Dilara, I would say, don't be afraid to be you.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to be you. Because as a woman of color, you know, a woman over the last 20, 30, 40 years, we weren't always shown that it was safe to be us.
absolutely.
Right? We weren't shown that it was safe to be authentic. And things have changed now because there are women like us, right? And there are men like my son that really want people to just be their best selves by being them. Because actually, when you're suppressing the real you, you're not going to be thriving.
Absolutely.
Being
Absolutely. not.
authentic. Yeah. I love that.
We talk about that a lot on this platform. Just, I think there's a lot of industries and a lot of situations that you find yourself trying to mold be the narrative. And when you're not yourself, you'll never give the best version of you. So it's just so important to be authentic. And that's for anyone. And what I love about, we talked about this before as well, is Gen Z. They don't give a damn. They're like, you're going to take me as I am or I'm leaving. So, and I appreciate that. I love that.
We can learn a lot from them, actually.
Absolutely.
We can learn.
And they've got boundaries.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They just set them. Like, that's it. That's my boundary. Take it or leave it.
I think they've learned from us, haven't they? The struggles that we've gone through. They've seen, even my son, like he's learned to be a better husband because he didn't see someone be a good partner to me because there wasn't anyone, right? So he wanted to create something that he always wanted for his mum, and he's now got it for himself. And we've ensured that we're creating a space and environment where they can thrive. And I think that even the next generation, hopefully my future grandchildren, whenever I have
When they
them,
arrive.
Oh, I can't get over that.
I can't
You do not
either.
look like a grandma.
I'm not a grandma yet.
No,
Like on your way or like
nowhere
soon to
near.
be. Yeah.
I can't even remember the day I ever said something like this, like I can't wait to be a grandma one day. But because actually I think, over the years I've learned that the power we have is to break generational cycles and make things better and pave the way for the next generation. And me seeing that in my son, which always inspires me to be better, I know that he's breaking the cycles and paving the way for the next generation. So they learn from us. They learn from the things that they see that are tough, I think, and try to create a better environment and a better world as a result of that.
Yeah, and I think as well the thing with like things like generational trauma, for example, because everyone has it, right? And I think I'm Pakistani, and there's like I've seen it in families and what it can do. You need a certain level of self-awareness to be able to break that cycle. So the fact that your son is this amazing role model, again, I know we've already said this, it just goes to show what an amazing job you've done, and the level of self-awareness you've had to have within yourself to know that you don't want this anymore. So I do rate that, because it's really difficult to do that, especially kind of when you're a woman of color. People expect things from us. We're supposed to tick loads of boxes, and to be able to deviate from that and say, no, actually, I'm going to create my own path, takes a lot.
Exactly. Also, I want to add, being a mother-in-law, you know, there's always been this expectation and almost this stereotype of mother-in-laws being evil.
Yes. I was just thinking that. Like, I was like, you must be amazing. Like,
I
really
was
chill, vibey mother-in-law.
You
because
look
we have
cool,
that.
you come across super, what's the word? Not engaging, but you almost feel at home. You're very comfortable to be around. That's what I'm trying to say. So, like,
I bet
best mother-in-law ever.
Yeah.
My daughter-in-law would love that. But I think, you know, just on that note, the stereotypes.
Yes.
We've got to break the stereotypes.
Absolutely.
You know, because there are so many people in our generation and their generation who are breaking those stereotypes. And we need to now elevate that story, right? The positive story, because not everyone is that stereotype.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
So tell us something that your colleague would not know about you,
Ooh.
other than the fact that you're doing DJing.
They know about that already. I don't know. My colleagues know most things about me because I'm an open book,
Love that.
and I try to be authentic as much as much as possible. But I would say one thing that they probably don't know about me is that I once trained to be a stunt woman.
What? Does she get any cooler than that? What?
For a short period, yes, I did. I loved it because I'm so adventurous and I love thrills. So I'm a thrill seeker, and so when I took 6 months out of working, I did try stunt training. So
Wow.
How was that?
that was awesome. That was so much fun. It was hard work, but
So
it
were
was so
you a
much fun.
stunt double, like in any?
Unfortunately, I didn't get that far.
Okay. You was training for it.
I had to start earning money, so so I had to go back to work. And
Is that how tech came in?
no, actually, tech came in another way, and I'll tell you that story in a minute.
Okay.
But through stunt training, the only reason I did that is because I really needed time out. So I was working non-stop. I was freelancing for about 10 years, and I was just working non-stop because, you know, when you're freelancing,
Yeah, it's nonstop.
if you're not earning money one day, if you're not working one day, you're not earning money.
money.
So I was like, kept on going, no break. So finally I was like, right, I'm going to take 6 months out. I'm going to do everything that I wanted to do, and I'm going to try everything, and stunt training was one of them.
Wow, I love that.
What else did you try in those 6 months?
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. That might be telling because there's
Where we travel?
I did travel. I did actually take up acting lessons as well. So I did a little bit of acting.
Wait, another
drama.
actress.
Yes,
thought,
yes.
Yeah.
We've had a few cybersecurity people and tech people that wanted to be actresses,
Even
including
Shayla.
me.
Really? Oh, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, let's just do it.
We can create a Cyber Sisters movie one
Yeah,
day,
we
right?
need to.
We know enough
cool.
people
Yeah,
now.
yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
that
We've got
would be
enough
cool.
actors.
Do you want anyone to do stunts?
Yeah, and stunt doubles too.
I've actually got a friend who became a professional stunt woman, and she does big movies, like big box office hits. And because she's living my dream, she said, "Okay, one day when I become a producer or a director, I will
get you in."
Yeah.
Love
Oh,
that.
I love that. That's good. So the dream's not over; it's still coming. Yeah. You said you were going to tell me about how tech came in. So you went from let's do the whole journey.
I became a single mom at 18, and so I was in many different jobs. I was in retail. You know, I even worked for a gold jewelry shop in East London.
Nice.
I worked for a mobile phone shop. I worked for an internet cafe chain. I was running multiple internet cafe stores that were doing IT training while I was studying for a degree.
Wow.
You know, I ended up studying at London College of Fashion.
So you're a single mom and you're studying.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Okay.
working.
That's wow.
I was juggling. I had a lot of energy at the time to juggle a lot. I don't know if I could do it again now. So, but so I felt like I needed to do something. You know, I knew I needed a degree if I was going to move forward. And I chose something that I would be interested in. So I chose fashion marketing, and chose fashion marketing, and I went to London College of Fashion. I was inspired by my dad, actually, because he was an immigrant and he created a business from nothing in manufacturing, and my mother helped him as well through, you know, sewing, etc. So I thought, let me do something that I actually know and I like and I love. So I went to study fashion marketing. And then when I graduated, I realized that for me to work in the fashion industry, I would have to do an internship, an unpaid internship. And I realized as a single mom, I want to, you know, pull us out of poverty, and I need to be able to, you know, put food on the table. I need to be able to pay for the roof of our heads and all of that stuff. So I decided to go temping until I found the dream job. And I started as a data entry clerk at a telecoms company. And very quickly, within 3 months, I got promoted. Within 3 to 6 months, throughout the time I was in that company, I kept on getting promoted because I was just so hungry. I was so hungry to succeed. So I then ended up becoming, in that same company, a junior project manager.
Wow.
After doing a stint in PMO.
Okay.
And very quickly realized I'm a creative person, you know, and the only creative thing that I could do was define and design processes. So I realized that I needed to find a creative environment to work in. So I started to look for another job in project management and in creative agencies. So I ended up going for an interview at a tech agency, a small tech agency. And in the interview, they asked me about my experience in that field. And I said, you know, I don't have experience delivering the type of projects and programs you deliver, but I'm willing to learn. I will do anything it takes to learn if you give me a chance. And they gave me a chance.
Love that.
And then,
Wow.
and then since then, I moved from, you know, agencies, the big agencies, and moved up the career ladder. And then I became a freelancer, worked in client side, one of the biggest FMCG companies in the world. And now I've been in consulting for the last 7 years.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
You know, from the women that we've spoken to, there's this theme that keeps popping up, and it's this hunger to do well. And it's that hunger that drives them and opens up opportunities and doors for them. So I think that's like you really have to want it.
Yeah.
And you really have to be willing to put everything on the line and pursue it. And I think that is probably, for me, the biggest takeaway from the women that I've spoken to is that you've got to want it and you've got to want to do anything to get it.
Absolutely agree. Even for me, I get inspired every time we do these podcasts with the women we have sitting in that chair. And there's sometimes where I'm like, I've had enough. I'm really tired. I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. And you hear we have these conversations, and I leave and I go home and I'm like, no, I can't give up, because there's going to be the next generation. And you're doing for us what we are probably doing for the next. So we can't stop. We can't give up. There's just so much opportunities out there.
And there's so much on the line as well.
And there's so much on the line. And hopefully Cyber Sisters is one of those platforms that provide that knowledge and that door opener for people out there. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that we begged you to be here today.
You don't have to beg me, trust me.
I guess, why are you here? What do you feel like you want the viewers to hear and understand? What do you want to leave here today?
I'm here because I think our values align. You know, you guys are about empowering women and opening doors where maybe the doors might be closed, inspiring them, and giving them the tools, you know, and the network to be able to do that. And I am all about that. And that's what I try to do every day. I try to live by that every day. You know, it's difficult in an environment that maybe is hard to kind of break into, right? So why not support the next generation with our wisdom and our experience? So yeah, that's the reason why I'm here. And what I'd like to leave here with is to make women feel like, if I can do it, and you can do it too. You know, or if that woman can do it, then I can do it too. So
I love that.
Absolutely.
I think that's really powerful.
So do I.
Yeah. So imagining another 5-year-old, how would you explain your job to them?
I had to think about this one
Okay.
for a little while.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's really hard. How would I? So I've got to explain to 5-year-old Dilara
Yeah.
Yeah.
what I do.
What she's going to be doing in the future.
Yeah, exactly. I would say, you know that game you're playing? Well, I help the people who built your game
Yeah.
to build it, fix problems, and make sure it works so that you can continue to keep playing your game, having fun, and leveling up.
I love that.
Oh,
That actually sounds fun.
yeah. Very
Our
simplified.
jobs don't do our jobs come nowhere near like
That's
that.
true. But you do. Okay, that's amazing. And I think for a lot of people out there that want to get into your field, that want to get into tech, the main point to put out is the fact that you need to be a problem solver.
Yes.
You need to be a problem solver. You need to be a great communicator. You need to be able to bring people together in a room and get to your end goal.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize. It's as easy as that. So when people think, I've got to do the coding course, I've got to learn programming. It's like, yeah, there's a percentage of jobs where you do need to do that. But there's also another 80% of jobs where you don't need to do that. And you can learn those things on the job as well. A lot of people think, I've got to take the qualifications, certifications. You don't. You really don't.
I think as well, like, it's the problem solver, but it's also the unblocker. So when there's a problem, you need to be the person who's known to be the unblocker. So I've got a problem. Oh, Dilara will know how to fix this. And it's that reputation that I think really helps. But yeah, no, that's amazing.
So you started off as a project manager and you've worked your way up to digital director. Talk us through how you got there and what does life look like at the level you're at now?
How I got there, I would say resilience, focus, and drive. Those three things were really important. And those three things really helped carry me where I am today. We talked about being hungry for success.
Yeah.
I was super hungry for success. You know, I created opportunities where there weren't any, you know, and even when I was working at that internet cafe chain, for example, there wasn't anything to do with like project management, but I was keeping my eyes open and my ears peeled. It's like, right, as soon as I found an opportunity, I was like, right, I know I'm studying for my degree, but can I do this part-time project admin job for this training program that you're doing? And they said yes.
That's another theme we get on these podcasts. It's women don't ask. And the ones that do get.
Yeah.
The ones that do get. So you need to ask, you need to look for the opportunities because the opportunities are there. But unless
out there.
yeah, absolutely. But unless you're showing the drive and then you ask the question, you don't get. It's like salaries. We were talking about salaries on a different podcast. And we said, how do you go about getting a high salary? Just ask.
Exactly.
Just
ask. I have done that many times. And actually, I told you I was working as a freelancer. I've been able to negotiate day rates while I'm still in the contract because I knew what I had to give. And they knew they needed me. So I was like, well, you're not paying me enough for the hours I'm putting in. But if you increase my day rate to this, then I'll be happy. And I got it.
Love
you know. And the other thing I would say is being fearless, right? not being afraid to fail and always be willing to learn.
And did you have allies as well? Like, do you still have allies today? Colleagues that have helped you climb up that ladder?
Yeah. I mean, I think in about 20 odd years ago, I probably felt a bit more alone than I do now. But I did create community. You know, I did create that community. I spoke to people who I respected and admired, who were in senior positions. Again, just not being afraid to ask, you know, and as soon as you ask, people are actually willing to help. And if you're being really genuine and passionate, people want to help passionate people, and people want to help people with drive, and, you know, that willingness to learn as well, right? So community is so important, I think.
To your point about people wanting to help, and I guess this is for all our viewers, we get a lot of questions, and, you know, this could be any industry, but we'll talk about cybersecurity. They're like, want to get into the cybersecurity industry, how do we do it? And I'm just like, just ask people on LinkedIn. Like, if you reached out to someone on LinkedIn and said, I'm really, really passionate about learning about this field, and, you know, I would love to learn, like, from you, like, would you be happy to mentor me? And I was like, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 the person will say yes, because they want to help people. We just don't ask enough.
Absolutely.
So for anyone watching, like, do that. So what would be your advice to anyone who's trying to climb this corporate ladder, or the ladder, like, in their careers, and they're failing, or not failing, it's a struggle? Like, they're kind of in a place where they're like, oh my goodness, like, this is tough and I need something to keep me going. What would your advice be to that person?
I would actually ask them to take a step back and assess whether the environment is right for them. So I'm going to use an analogy here about a bottle of water. So a bottle of water costs £1 in the store, and it costs £3 in the cafe, maybe £4 or £5 in the airport, but £6 or £7 on a flight. Now, that bottle of water hasn't changed, and it's exactly the same water, right? But what's changed is the environment that it's in, and the value of it increased depending on the environment that it's in. So, you know, if you're in an environment where you feel like you're failing, you don't feel empowered, you don't feel elevated or supported, that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It just means that you're probably not in the right environment. Because if you were in an environment where you did feel supported, where you felt empowered, elevated, and you were supported in your growth, then you would thrive, right? So why would you be in an environment where you're not thriving?
So have you ever been in those environments where you feel like you've not been supported? And how have you, like, because I feel like some people can start spiraling at that point where they're like, oh my God, I'm hating my job, my company's toxic, I don't know what to do, you know, and then they just go into like spiraling mode. So if you've had that experience, how have you been able to say, no, we just move on?
Really take the time to reassess the situation. You know, for me, again, when I said it's super important for me to be authentic and for me to be valued for my strengths, etc., I would just take my own advice, you know, take a step back and realize, am I growing here? Because I'm an achiever. I thrive on achieving. If I'm not growing here, then I need to change the environment that I'm in, because I know this isn't me. I know that I thrive, you know, and grow, and I love achieving. So if I'm in that situation, I start looking. And sometimes, look, it takes time to look. Sometimes it could take a year, sometimes it could be 6 months, or it could be a month, right? Really set that intention, I would say, and start practicing. Like, go and have interviews, even if you don't want the job, so that you're rehearsing, right? You're always trying to be the best version of yourself, even if you go for something that you don't really want. It's just for rehearsing. Ask people so that you can practice with them, your friends, so you can practice with them, and always learn. Like, that's why I'm always looking for challenges, even if I'm not getting it at work. I'm looking for new things to learn so I can keep my brain sharp.
Absolutely. And be aware of your competition as well.
Oh my God, yeah.
People forget there's competition out here. You're not the only person trying to get into corporate or tech or
especially
whatever.
now, like with the job market, like any job you apply for, it's like 100 of the applicants. Like, how do I stand out from 100 people? And that's the mindset I think people need to have.
Yeah. So I guess the next question is a little bit different in the sense that, so it's more personal. So Roha and I, what we've both realized is over the years, we've been climbing the corporate ladder. We've both got to like really good places in our careers. Like we're very happy financially. We've had our highs and lows, which we talk about on this platform quite openly. I guess from your perspective, what has been your highs and lows?
My highs would be being promoted every 3 to 6 months and constantly achieving, I would say, and also being able to deliver complex programs and campaigns, sometimes one of the first of their kind. I love a challenge. And my lows would be hitting that glass ceiling and not being able to break it, and staying stagnant because I'm not being challenged in a role.
And would you say any of those things were specific to you being a woman as well? So have you had lows specifically to you, being, like, for example, you mentioned hitting the glass ceiling. Do you think that being a woman added to that in any way, shape or form? And the answer doesn't have to be yes. It can be no. It could just be that perhaps the company wasn't right.
It's an odd one, you see, because I think, like, I have seen different versions of industries, different industries where in some industries there's many women at the top, right? And some jobs, for example, loads and loads of women, and it's actually female dominated rather than male dominated. I guess in tech, I would say I didn't really let it hold me back. I really think that the trick is not feeling disadvantaged just because you're a woman or you come from an ethnic background or that you are a single parent, because
because those are added layers as well.
I have all of those layers, so, and I'm here where I am. Yes, given I haven't broken the glass ceiling yet, but I hope that in time I will be able to. I mean, at times I did think that it was my gender when I first was starting out. And the times when I might have been spiraling, like you said, many people feel like, oh, I'm stuck and I'm spiraling. You end up thinking quite negatively and you end up focusing on the negative things. But really and truly, if you take a hard look, right, we've had many inspiring women over the last 20 years. Margaret Thatcher, whether you love or you hate her, she did pave the way for female leaders in the UK. We had Indra Nooyi, former CEO of PepsiCo.
Yes.
That was about 20 odd years ago. Who is Marissa Mayer as well?
Yes.
VP of Google, I think she was. She also, paved the way. So are we really focusing on the disadvantage or the advantage? I'm a positive thinker. I have a very positive mindset, and look, I've been there as well, right? And if the thing is, if you focus on something, you are going to just create that for yourself.
Absolutely.
It's like manifestation, right? You set the intention, you focus on the positive stuff. You say, I'm not going to be stopped. I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve, and I think you will. Most likely you will achieve it, and I know I'll be able to break that glass ceiling. It's just a matter of when.
Absolutely. It's just time.
And language is important as well.
Oh, 100%.
I found myself doing this a lot where I'm like, if that happens, and I'm like, no, when that happens.
Exactly. When it happens, and own it, even if it's not true yet. Own it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's your dreams.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You have to be in control.
Yeah.
So we actually ask quite a few of our guests that join us, and Shayla mentioned it about Gen Z, and we're hearing more terms like 9 to 5 is keeping us poor, like quiet quitting, and we don't want to be a corporate slave anymore. what are your thoughts on this, and what would be your advice to that generation? And yeah, like, do you agree with it? Do you not? Like, what do you think?
I'm a big supporter of flexible working.
Okay.
I can't wait till the 4-day week comes up. Like, I do get where they're coming from. They're frustrated. You know, 95's not the right mold for everybody. You know, different people operate in different ways. They might succeed, you know, they might be productive in the evening, for example, and some might be productive in the mornings. Some might be able to achieve 5 days worth of work in 3 days. So why make them work 5 days?
Yeah.
You know, so give people the flexibility so that they can use their time how it works for them.
Yeah.
So that they can thrive and be successful and achieve what they need to achieve.
Yeah. I think as well it comes to having a balance, because I think nowadays, like, the younger people don't want their whole life to be about their job.
About work.
They want their identity to be more than where they work and the job title. So I think for like, and me also having this thought process, is like, no, like, my job isn't my life.
Yeah.
It's a big part of my life, but there is so much more to my life. And you know, and I think because I'm on Instagram, everyone is, we see this all the time, where it's like, on your deathbed, no one's going to remember your role. They're not going to remember the company. Your company is just going to hire your replacement.
Yeah.
It's going to be your family, and it's going to be your loved ones that remember you. So it's about that balance that probably didn't exist in the generations before us. And it's kind of our way of saying, actually, no, we want a balance. And when we see things in the news where it's like, you know, big CEOs are like, you know, you can't work from home.
Yeah, you got to be working as hard as me 5 days a week.
It's like, nah, we don't want to.
And we've gone beyond that. Since COVID, I feel like 2020 came, we're 5 years on now. There are some people that started their industry in that time, started their careers in that time and haven't seen anything else. So for you to turn around and now say to that same person that has never had to experience 5 days a week in the office, you've got to come in. It's a mind shift. You're changing their whole life, what they know or what they've known to be their careers. You're telling them that's going to change because I say so, because I'm in the office every day. This is obviously an isolated example. Not all companies are doing this, but I think
we see it.
We see the trend, and it's like, I think the flexibility, I think companies get more out of people when they have flexibility.
And when they're happy.
People are happy. I'm at home spending time with my family. I can log off. I can make myself lunch. They're healthier. I'm healthier.
I don't have to do a grueling 2-hour commute.
Yes, I don't have to waste 2 hours on the commute.
Yeah, and people are families as well. Like, you know, they've got children, they've got other responsibilities. They're carers, for example.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I just think it's all about balance. And yeah, if someone told me to be 5 days in the office,
I'd quit.
I would quit.
I'd find a new job.
Find a cafe. Yeah, you change your environment, right?
Exactly. We change our environment.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that I am struggling with, and it really pisses me off, is that I live in Manchester. Okay. A lot of the cyber roles are based in London. And they want you in the office 3 days a week. And I'm like, have we taken a step back here?
Yes.
Because people in Manchester were beginning to progress into these really well-paid jobs where location didn't matter. Now it feels like we've taken a step back, and it really gets under my skin. The amount of jobs I've had to turn down because I'm like, I'm not coming to London 3 days a week. Yeah, it's too expensive.
Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think companies have gone backwards in that sense?
I don't know if maybe some people took advantage of the flexibility a bit too much. Like, some people have probably moved abroad, stayed away for a year.
I also think a lot of the companies that make these decisions are not diverse enough.
They're not.
They don't have like women saying, actually,
these are some of the reasons why we shouldn't go back.
I feel like, and I know some of the companies, like, you know, we mentioned the banking environment and like all of those huge companies, and they're mainly male dominated, right? You have a lot of men making a lot of the decisions. And I think for me, we don't have someone who's actually saying no.
Yeah, because if someone at the top, you know, if let's say it's 50%, we've got, you know, gender parity, and the woman at the top is saying, well, I have started taking my child to school for the last 4 years. That now has to stop. or I get to look after my parents more, or whatever it might be. All of that has to stop. So imagine what's happening for people that are not even earning as much as me, because these people are at the top. They're earning a decent amount of money. They can pay someone to go pick up their child. But imagine for the people at the bottom, and you're telling them, actually, that flexible way of working that has allowed you to have this job, we're going to take that away just because we think we're going to get more out of you by you being in the office, when actually I think it's the complete opposite. Maybe there needs to be a balance.
I think balance is key. I think also there needs to be open dialogue and communication. And yeah, just speak to the people and ask them what works for them. And, you know, I think we're past the one size fits all.
Yeah.
And I think it's that approach that Gen Z struggle with.
100%.
Yeah.
So in an industry where sometimes women's voices are underrepresented, it'd be really nice to hear about sort of your journey in finding your voice and not being scared to share your opinion. And, you know, have you had any situations where you're like feeling like the person on the other side of the table is trying to overpower you? How have you found your voice? How have you got into the role that you're in today and not lost yourself?
I would say my confidence increased as my experience increased. So the more I was delivering, you know, complex programs and projects, I started to realize people were actually looking at me for answers and direction. As I said earlier, I have delivered some of the first of their kind of campaigns and transformation programs. And I was surprised the fact that I was able to deliver them when no one had done it before. And I had at times client told me, you don't know how good you are.
No.
That really hit me. I was like, oh, actually, I didn't think I was that good. And I've, you know, since become known for making the impossible possible. And so those comments really helped, like the feedback really helped. So as I realized that those feedbacks, they really helped me increase my confidence, I started to ask for feedback proactively. So I asked for feedback to continue to learn and grow where I needed to improve and go to the next level and keep doing the things that I was doing really well. And I've actually made that part of my part of something I do every day. Like, not every day, but, you know, for every project that I'm leading, I'm constantly asking, not just the senior people either, the junior people as well, because you can learn a lot from getting honest feedback from people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. We used to do this thing called 360 feedback, where you had to get 360 feedback. So seniors, it's everyone you work with. And some people are honest, some people can't be bothered, so they just tell you what you want to hear. But the honest feedback, the brutal feedback, is the best feedback, because that's how you grow. If everyone's telling you how great you are all the time, it's great because you get confident, but then are you actually growing? Because there's always going to be something you can finesse. There's always going to be something you can do better at. So it's about recognizing that. And, you know, when I'm saying this to say, when you are giving feedback to anyone watching, be honest, be brutal, and, you know, give both sides of the coin, like give the positive, but also give the constructive side of things as well.
Yeah, I think it's really important to ensure that you start with the good feedback, like what has gone well, and then the feedback you get or give, make sure it's constructive. So, and I try to also frame it in a positive way, in a way that, you know, what can you do better? What could have been better? Because it's, you know, if you're on the receiving end of negative feedback, it can be quite tough, right? And some people could just mentally switch off. So how do we make sure that we're giving constructive feedback in a way that is going to land the way we want it to land?
Yeah. So let's go on to like practical tips on how do you think women, I'm going to focus on women, can showcase confidence? And this might be the way they sit or where they sit in a meeting room. What tips would you give?
I'll probably give a few tips, actually. I think it's really important to dress well.
Yes.
I was
this
hoping
thought.
you'd say
Yeah.
that. I like that.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
I think it's really important to dress well so that you feel confident before you're entering a room.
What do you? What impact do you think that has on other people as well when you dress well?
I don't actually know. You tell me.
That is the perception.
Yeah, I feel like if I think you're dressed really well, that makes me feel like you're in control.
Yes, absolutely. And it also somewhat makes you want to take the person seriously as well. If I go into a meeting today and someone works for help desk and they're just in like a t-shirt and it has a hole in it and then some jeans that hasn't been washed ever, and stuff like that, I not that I'm going to treat you differently. Luckily, I'm not that person, but it's a subconscious thing, absolutely, because it's like naturally I'm going to do things that I probably wouldn't do if I was sitting down in front of a CEO dressed really well, or even if they weren't a CEO. I'm just naturally going to behave in a different way.
Yeah, I think as well, like you stand out. I think that's important.
Yeah.
You want to stand out, yes.
You want to stand out. I think women should not feel shy to stand out.
Yeah.
To show up.
You shouldn't feel shy and be afraid to take up space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like in the past, I would have thought, oh no, if I dress too much, then I'm going to be perceived as too much. Yeah. Or is it like I'm going to a fashion show or something? But actually, it makes me feel good.
Yes.
And I want to take up space. Like I've learned and actually received advice from C-level execs, take up space. So that's how I start with the way I dress.
Okay.
So if I walk into a meeting room, I will choose the seat that I want to sit in.
And what seat is that?
Yeah, what
I want to know.
The one I feel comfortable in. I love a view, by the way. So if I find myself in a room and there's a beautiful view or there's a glass window, I will sit so that I can face the window, so I feel comfortable and feel confident as well. The other thing I would do is preparation as well. Preparation for a meeting is so key. Have a cheat sheet, with the key messages that you want to land. Yeah. And if it's virtual, for example, because many of us are in virtual meetings, make sure you have your cheat sheet in front of you, ready.
Yeah.
And if you're in an in-person meeting, have index cards with the key messages that you want to land, so that you know that you're going to leave that meeting landing the messages you want to land. A bit like what I've done for this podcast, actually. Yeah. So I've got my key messages on my index cards. I even I rehearsed with ChatGPT before I came here.
ChatGPT, everyone's best friend.
Yeah. I always say, my solicitor.
I need to get, your solicitor, your everything, your writer, my doctor, my new Google.
Maybe not your doctor.
No, I do. Trust me, I do. I'm like,
this is happening. Should I be worried?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you gave some really, really good advice there.
Dress well, pick your seat.
Be prepared.
And be prepared.
I think that being prepared is underrated.
I was like, say
there are people, like I'm sure all three of us could walk into a meeting and wing it any day, anytime.
But you can
and
tell.
you'll do well.
Yeah.
But people can tell.
Absolutely.
Can tell. But more importantly, when you are prepared, people are like, she took out time out of her day to make sure she was prepared for my meeting. Yeah. I'm gonna come on camera and I'm going to give you I'm going to give you the same energy back. Yeah. So it's good for you to get productivity out of the other person as well.
Yeah. I was on a call the other day and I don't ever usually do this, but I'm like, I'll just come up with a list of things because I'm probably going to forget this. So I came up with a list and it was just 15 minutes before the meeting. I really did not put much thought into it. So I went onto this call, my manager was on the call and I'm like, I have a list. And he was like, oh, like he was so impressed. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, you have a list? And it was like, no, I didn't know what to do. I'm like, yeah. And then I just went through the list and he was so impressed.
There you go.
I'm like, it's a tiny little
you impressed impressed someone who was not expecting that from you.
Absolutely.
Right?
And you to prepare and same like what you said, like you're on our podcast, you took the time out to prepare, which makes me feel like you took it seriously.
Yeah.
And that means that you respect me and I appreciate that. Like it's that and then it's reciprocated. And I think it's the energy you put in is the energy you get out.
And you also role modeling as well. So every interaction you have with people, if you're actually putting your best version forward through preparation, how you dress, you're actually role modeling for them as well. They're going to take that subconsciously. They're going to learn something from you and take that into their everyday.
And then it all goes back to the perception. It's the fact that I know, okay, I'm going to have a meeting with Dilara. I need to be ready.
Yeah. And do you know what? Like on the dress bit, like, and I know we said we don't judge, but honestly, I do. Like, I'm just gonna be honest.
I listen and I don't judge.
No, I do though. Like, and not in a horrible way. And I know it's bad. Okay, I'm not saying I should, and but I'm just like, if I see someone dressed well, I will just take them seriously. Like, it's just a thing. And if I see someone who's a bit scruffy, I'll be like, oh, like, and it's just a thing. It's subconscious, or maybe not. Like, maybe it's really conscious. But I think it's because I understand how important it is, and I do. Like, I've spoken about it before. Like, dressing well, it's a game changer. So yeah, as soon as you walk through the doors, I was like, whoa, I'm gonna take you seriously. Like, yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
Okay, there's some practical tips there. I want to get into the female body.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. That one.
We're going there.
We're going to go there. We're going to go there. Female body, mental health, all of that stuff. So everyone knows this. As women, we experience monthly, not all of us. Some people don't get cramps. Some people don't get pains. But maybe it's just hormones. Maybe it's just emotions. All of that sometimes can lead up to burnout. It can lead up to stress, anxiety. You're not doing your job well. Exactly, you're not being well. So how do you go about making sure, one, you don't get burnout and looking after yourself?
Don't work weekends. That's one. Right.
That's advice for me.
No one,
And you.
no one remembers how many hours you worked on a project or an engagement. Not 1 month from now, not a year from now. So why are you doing it? Right? I've been there. So I've, also experienced some level of burnout, and I've learned the hard way. I'm sure you both have as well. Mm-hmm. Did you know that there were 5 stages of burnout?
No, tell us about the 5.
Oh my God, I don't know the 5 stages, but I know the 4th one.
Okay, tell us the 4th.
Oh, that's good.
But so I think number 2 and 3 are somewhere between like starting to be stressed.
Okay.
And 3 is starting to feel chronic stress.
Okay.
But stage 4 is stage where you are constantly burnt out, and it actually takes up to 3 years to recover from that.
What?
3 years?
I don't think I've recovered.
3 years, yeah.
I'm recovering.
When I experienced burnout, I was like between stage 2 and stage 3, and I started to feel physically sick. And that was a massive wake-up call for me.
So this is extreme burnout with 3 years to recover, right?
Yeah, so when you hit stage 4,
basically,
that is like, will take you up to 3 years to recover. Yeah. And stage 5 is chronic, like you're on and off having burnout, and you haven't actually been able to get out of that. But it's so important for us to recognize when we're starting to go through the stages of burnout. And like I said, no one's going to remember, right, the hours you worked, but you are going to remember it because you're going to feel the burnout, and you're going to have to then recover from it.
Okay, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I would say, to avoid burnout, to set boundaries. Don't work weekends. Maybe the odd one if you really, really need to. Try to shut your laptop down at 6 o'clock, right? Set boundaries, because your health is really, really important. Prioritize, the time that you would have spent working, prioritize things that matter instead.
Yeah.
Like family, connection, community, hobbies, passion. That's the stuff that keeps you alive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the boundary setting, that's one that comes up. It comes up, and it just every time we speak to people in your type of position, and even in cyber in general and tech. I
feel like it has to, though, because
absolutely.
I think women, are probably better at it. I'm generalizing
Somewhat.
here.
Somewhat.
But when they have families, they have to be, right? They've got to.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah, you're juggling a lot, right? And you're spinning a lot of plates at the same time. So on that point, obviously you've spoken about kind of you're a single mom, you're in a leadership position, you have a lot of passions outside of work. How do you find that balance?
Oh gosh, how do I find balance? I make time for the things that matter. Like family is really important to me. You know, as you grow up and go through the different stages of life, you have different priorities, and my priority is family. So we make sure that we've created a supportive dynamic at home, and my son and my daughter-in-law support me just as much as I support them. We make time for family holidays, you know, we make time for even the simple joys, right, that make us happy. Every now and again, if we're busy, one of us is busy, one of us would cook. You know, sometimes I've seen my daughter-in-law leave me a packed lunch in the fridge for me with a post-it note and a smiley face, like lunch, you know, and that is like a simple thing, but it brings me so much joy. So if I have a really busy day, you know, and I see something like that, it brightens up my day and makes everything worth it. You know, so really making the time and setting those boundaries is so important.
I love that.
I love that. And I agree, because some people would say I'm not the best girlfriend in the world, because I literally work. It's terrible. And my partner does a lot of the cooking. Like,
lucky you.
But he loves cooking. That's the benefit. He loves cooking. And for me, that joy that you just described, that's what I get. Every time it's lunchtime, I'm like I know there's food, and I know it's like love was put into the food. But just that joy, that feeling, it's just everything.
I think it's just knowing someone's got your back. And someone, and I think there's a balance, right? Like, obviously in my relationship, I know certain months are peak season for my husband, and I know that's when I've got to step up. And recently, I feel like our whole life's been peak, but like recently with Cider Sisters, it's been peak season for me. And recently, I actually broke my ankle, so I was 100% dependent on my husband, and he did everything. And you just get on with it. And I know when it's his turn, I'm just gonna get on with it and just do my thing. And I think it's that balance. And it's
creating that supportive network and that environment, you know, whether you have you're living with family or you might have a partner, having and choosing the right partner who is actually supportive is so important.
I don't think people talk about this enough.
No,
how important it is to have and find the right partner. I think people think it's just get married and that's it.
And when you're young, that is the goal. You're like, I'm just gonna get married. But I'm really grateful that we had enough time to learn, and like yourself, my mum had me very young, and I've watched her journey, and I've been able to go, all right, okay, I can learn from that mistake, and do better. And that has allowed me to choose the perfect partner for me. Honestly,
I know.
I'm so happy that I've made that decision in choosing the right partner, because it goes back to balance. There are some people, and it works for other people, some people that say, listen, my wife, my girlfriend, she's going to do all the cooking and cleaning, and she's not going to work. But that's not going to work for me.
I've heard people say that, though. And just to add to that, you have an amazing partner.
Yes,
and I've seen it. Yeah, no, so do I. And I've seen it. And honestly, sometimes I actually say to my husband, I'm like, I like that. We should do that. I've seen the way it is. And it's a funny story. I went to my auntie's house, and my cousin was like, do you know her husband cooks all the time? And I was like, and why is that even a point of conversation? And I just looked around and I went, because I'm busy. And then we just moved on. And then my mum went to my auntie's house a week later, and she went, I heard your son-in-law cooks. And I'm like, why is this even a conversation? But in our culture, that's like, oh, like what?
Yeah.
Your husband cooks?
Yeah.
Like, what is he, the woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
In
but-
many cultures, it's like that.
Many cultures. But you know what you're doing? You're inspiring others to change.
Yeah.
Right? My son cooks for us sometimes, you know, and how I make that work. He never used to cook when he was younger. I mean, since he got married though, like.
Same with my husband. He's like, I never used to cook at home. Since I got married, I'm like, shit, I've got to cook.
Yeah, my daughter-in-law has been a good influence on him. But actually also, you know, giving that positive feedback.
Yes.
There's a trick, you know, to make, inspire people to do the right thing and take care of you. Compliment them when they're cooking, right? The more, oh my God, I'm giving away my secret. So if my son hears this, he's going to stop cooking for me because...
I was like, don't give up the secret. No, I know what you're going to say.
I feel like everyone knows what you're going to say.
So when he cooks me something and I'd be like, and it actually tastes good anyway, right? It's like, oh my God, this tastes delicious. Oh, wow, this tastes so delicious. You know what happens? He'll cook for me again.
And you'll make it.
He'll make it again another time, you know. So, but he also does the same thing to me now. So when he wants something from me, it's like, you know, Mum, do you remember that salmon salad that you made? I love it so much. He knows the trick already, I think.
He probably uses it back on you.
He does, yeah.
But yeah, no, I think balance is important.
Yeah,
Finding the
balance.
right people.
Yeah.
Even your friends. Like, it doesn't have to be a partner. Like, even your friends, your family, all of that is so important for you to go on and, go on and be successful. I think it is really important.
Yes,
But yeah.
I agree. All right, so we are all women of colour, and it's an added layer. We're already women, so now it's an added layer. It's always important to champion other women of colour and always make sure that we are, at the end of the day, we've got a responsibility, all three of us, to show up so that other people show up and see people that look like them in roles that they want to be in the future. How are you supporting women of colour?
I have an open door policy for anyone who wants support, regardless of gender or ethnicity. But what I've noticed is that women of colour and people from ethnic backgrounds tend to find me much more approachable because I think they see someone who has broken barriers that they want to break, someone that looks like them, that might have experienced things like them, you know, challenges like them.
Yeah.
The way I support women of colour and people from diverse backgrounds is to really be available. Like I said, I have an open door policy. If someone seems like they need support or advice and they approach me, I will give them the time. I will make the time for them. I will recommend them for opportunities in my network. I will connect them to people in my network. You know, I would uplift them, empower them, you know, give them what they need to kind of break the barriers as well. I love mentoring.
Okay.
Right? I love mentoring and creating those opportunities that they may not have had. But I am quite busy. I have such a busy schedule. I can't make time for everyone. I really want to. I really want to make time for everyone. And that's the challenge actually we face, I think, when people are looking for mentors and they're looking for the people that inspire them, but they're so busy, but they're time poor. And it's not for the lack of wanting, right? They probably want to help, but they just don't have the time. So I was thinking about this one night, actually, when I was in bed. And so how can I help all these women I want to help? How can I help these people from diverse backgrounds? And I actually came up with the idea because I use ChatGPT all the time, right? It's like, you know, as my thought partner. And I'm like, literally, ChatGPT, AI is my thought partner. And I came up with, right. So I love creating content, right? I'm creative. I love storytelling and I love innovation. And why don't I create content?
Yes.
Right? Why don't I create content that's accessible for everybody, use my social media platform and put my message out there and advice, a bit like what you're doing with this podcast, right? But I use my social media. But I also wanted a way to make coaching more scalable and accessible for everybody, because not everyone can afford coaches, right? It's quite inaccessible for a lot of people in junior roles.
Yeah.
And so I use now my content to teach people how to use Gen AI apps to coach themselves, break limiting beliefs, and help them break barriers. So what I do is I post how to use Gen AI apps. You can use ChatGPT. You don't have to actually subscribe to another app, right? Because there are coaching apps out there. Or use DeepSeek. How can they use Gen AI app so that they can grow and make leadership coaching much more accessible?
Amazing.
I love that.
I do as well. And for the women that are watching, what's your Instagram? What's the socials?
I love championing inclusive leadership.
Excellent.
And I try to live by that every day. You know, I try to be the role model that I wish I had when I was starting out. We are all role models, right? So what you're doing now really does count. So trying to be that and live by that every day, and inspiring and empowering people from diverse backgrounds is so important, because I don't think just breaking the glass ceiling is just for me.
Yes.
I have a responsibility, like you said, right? I have a responsibility for the people after me to break those barriers and show them that it can be done. No matter where you come from. I'm a single mum, right? Yes. I've been a single mum for 20 odd years, right? And everything. So if I can do it, you can do it too.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Love
Wow. Look, we just want to say firstly, thank you so much for joining us on today's Cyber Sister show. And but before we let you go, we want to have some fun with you.
Okay. I was waiting for this one.
we can't let anyone go without having a little bit of
I
fun
think
with
we're just
them.
getting to know.
Because we feel like we know you, but this is a different level.
Yeah, it's just fun. So it's more like this or that. So what would you pick between two?
So we're going to give you two options and you choose one.
Okay. So the first one is Mercedes or BMW.
I've had a BMW before, so I would go for Mercedes because I haven't driven
Me
Mercedes
too.
yet.
I would. What would you pick?
Yeah, probably Merc.
Merc as well. Yeah.
I don't like BM.
Have you know what they say about BM drivers?
What?
Oh yeah, I do.
They're just mean.
That's not the word.
That's not the word.
My son drives a BMW.
Oh,
Oh, no, okay. It's okay.
No, to
I
be
don't think he'll
honest,
be watching this
is he
anyway.
not a mean
I'm
driver?
joking. You know what? I have actually been behind him when he was driving, and as soon as
Who are you?
I was like, as soon as he got home, I said, "Can you not drive like that anymore, please?
Yeah.
I would like you alive."
Yeah, but you know, it's like I heard it's the car. It's just the car. It
Not
makes
a boy
you.
racer. Like when I had my BMW, I felt like a girl racer.
Yeah.
Trust me.
It's
Like,
probably just the vibe.
Yeah, it's the vibe.
I did feel cool when I was driving a BMW.
Yeah.
Whereas Mercedes a bit more calm.
Classy.
Yeah, classy. So you drive classy.
Yeah.
All right.
Drive classy.
You do. I do.
we?
What is that?
I'm going to watch Merc drive.
Well, I'm a passenger
Shayla, she's
princess.
no wonder. Like she doesn't even have to drive. She just sits there.
No, I do drive if I have to, but I avoid it. All right, next one. Beach or city?
I am a city girl through and through.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Born and raised in London. So if I had to choose somewhere to live, it'd have to be a city, but I would have to have a holiday home by the beach.
Okay.
So where would you like? What city do you like other than London?
Other than London, I was going to say London.
Yeah, I know. I took that out.
I've always wanted to try and live in Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was like, oh my gosh, you're full of surprises.
What are you going to say?
I don't know.
What about beach? Like, where would you like holiday home?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
A friend of mine has an amazing villa in Turks and Caicos, so I would say Turks and Caicos.
Really?
The turquoise waters.
Yes.
You know, it's quite expensive there, so maybe in a few years.
Oh, it's on my list.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
places to go to.
You have to go.
I
It's
will.
so beautiful.
I love traveling, so it definitely will be.
So, fruit or veg?
I would say veg, unless I'm making a smoothie, and then I'd have fruit.
Okay.
I'm a bit indecisive.
No, but you're different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's veg.
Yeah.
I'll do the next one. So, all right, a senior role or an analyst role?
Nothing wrong with analyst role, but I would go for senior role because I feel like I'll be able to inspire people, open doors for people, and be able to make the way for the next generation. So that's why I choose that.
She's lying. She just wants to make the money.
She wants that home and
She wants the home.
I do. I really do.
No.
I get it. No, I do get it. So working in the home or working in the office?
I like both. I really like the office for connecting community. You know, you can get a lot done. But I also like working from home. You know, when you want to get shit done. Am I allowed to say that word?
Yes. Yeah, say it.
When you want to get shit done, where else can you get shit done? You can do it at home, right?
With no interruption.
Exactly. You can put your headphones in. You can put yourself on Do Not Disturb, and you can just get things done.
Yeah. Absolutely agree. All right. That brings us to the end. I think today I've learned so much. So thank you.
It's been really, really inspiring. And yeah, I'm just
and
like,
I think
wow.
to have heard a single mum, I've only really got my mum's perspective. So to hear someone else's perspective and see how far you've come, and you know, the fact that you're still going, you know, it's not like you've stopped and said, I'm just going to sit back and relax. And, you know, which some people do. You said, no, I'm going to keep going because I'm not finished. And we're not finished.
I don't think I'll ever be finished. Yeah, exactly. Until I stop breathing.
Yeah.
There's so much to achieve in the world. Right? There's so much to learn, so much to see. Right. And actually travel. That's why I love traveling, because there's so much to see and you're constantly learning and growing, hopefully becoming better people.
Yes, right, of course.
As you're doing that.
So on that note, thank you. And we'll see you back next time.
Yes.